thank you, and welcome to another episode of MattTv. My name is Matthew. 6 o'clock here on the west coast of Canada in the lovely province of British Columbia, and I am in White Rock, British Columbia. A few things I want to talk about tonight. Rob Cohen. Never met the individual. This morning before work, I was watching some TV. I was watching HBO, and there was a special called Being Canadian. And I only saw the last 45 minutes of the show. I definitely want to check it out. He was traveling the coast, going from Halifax to Vancouver, interviewing Canadian celebrities and just people in general. It's great. And a big shout out to Rob Cohen for making that documentary. So I asked the question to you, as Canada celebrates its 150th birthday, what does it mean to be Canadian to you? For me, being Canadian is simply spreading the word that Canadians are great, we are friendly, we are polite, we produce great actors, great comedians, the best hockey players in the world. Canada is the best nation on the planet. That's what it means to be Canadian for me. Also, rocket ships being launched out of Nova Scotia. Thanks to Fried for the link. We'll talk about that tonight. And the nor'easter. If you're back east and survived Mother Nature's wrath yet again, give me a shout. Send me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. And also, we'll talk later tonight about the show LOL. And thanks to Etienne for the link on that. Watched it this afternoon. It's brilliant because it's comedy. They're out doing all these crazy scenarios, but they don't have lines. So to convey comedy without script, without words, my hat's off to them. So what does it mean to be Canadian to you? Drop me a line when you join the room. Say hi. I'll say hi back. Scott Kennedy, how are you, my friend? Welcome to MattTv. What does it mean to be Canadian to you? What does it mean to be Canadian to you? If you're in the Nova Scotia area, if you're in the Maritimes, they could quite possibly be launching rockets from that area in the near future. What do you think about that? And if you are in the East Coast, if you're back in the East Coast, what was this nor'easter like on a scale of 1 to 10? Be honest with me now. I just want to get set up here. I am a little bit of a different setup here tonight. I am still in my garage. I'm still very comfortable in the comfy confines of my own home. I'm in my garage. Beautiful artwork by my wife behind me. I'm now sitting in a chair. I have my table set up. I feel a little more professional here, which is the path that I want to be going on. Everyone has their own opinion, eh, Too Fried? Everyone's got their own thoughts, and that's what this is going to be. It's an open platform. You can say whatever you like, but this is live. This is MattTv. This is live on Facebook, so please keep your comments clean if you can. There is no need. It won't be necessary to be vulgar or disrespectful on this program, because as a host, you won't see it from me, so I do not expect it from the audience. Hello, Joan. How are you? Welcome to MattTv. I know you're just kidding, my friend. Mike, what's happening? Haven't heard anyone chime in yet about the nor'easter back east. There's some big news, not just the nor'easter. But I'll bring this page up. And again, I want to thank Too Fried for the link. If you want more information on this, you can Google it yourself. Just Google Nova Scotia rockets, and this story will come up. This is from the Chronicle Herald, thechronicleherald.ca. Now, I guess what happened, a 400-year-old Nova Scotia fishing village that was struggling to stay afloat, it dissolved years ago. And now this ancient or non-existent fishing village was the tiny community of Canso, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Canso, Nova Scotia, is now being touted as the future home of Canada's only commercial spaceport. So it made me think the Maritimes the Maritimes can't get their own CFL team, but in the near future, they will be launching rockets into space. So, I think anyone in the Maritimes would go to any point. Halifax, Moncton, those would be two great locations for a CFL team. So if you can't get CFL, I would come back to watch the first rocket launch from, not a rocket launch, a rocket launch from Nova Scotia. I'd make that trip. Illinois Nick, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to MattTv. Nick, did you feel the effects of the nor'easter? What was your day like today? How did you navigate through a Wednesday, here this 15th day of March? We were just cruising along. I think I know in a month, 1 month from today, my daughter and I will be somewhere in the United States on a Greyhound bus, making our way towards Boston, Massachusetts. And you will be along for the ride. I am definitely going to be taking lots of footage, interviewing lots of people. It's going to be a documentary game show on wheels. Those wheels supplied by Greyhound. Old Man Winter, pound sand. I have to get into the habit of reading comments to myself before reading them out loud, but I guess it doesn't matter because the comments are up for everyone to see. But it's when you say it that you really get the idea of, like, hey, Old Man Winter, go pound sand. Thanks for that, Jeff. Always a classic, always a classic. I wish that I could see you in camera because, or Toby, so Toby could reenact. Well, candles blowing into hot wax is never a good thing. So I also have to remember that this is live and people can go back and watch it later. And don't worry, I won't throw anyone under the bus ever. It's funny, some of the programs you watch where people are constantly being thrown under the bus. Rocket ships in Nova Scotia and being Canadian. What does it mean to be Canadian to you? I laid it out on the line. I'm 44. I love this country. There's no other place I'd rather live in the moment. But if you like, and if you like what you see and hear, tell your friends. This is MattTv, and glad to have you along. So thankful for all the likes, all the shares, all the positive feedback. Trust me, it's greatly appreciated. Thanks for the like, Joan. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're nice and snuggled in and protected from the elements as Mother Nature continues its wrath. I don't really follow the weather back east. Out here today, the temperature was 9-10 degrees and it was light rain. So I think we had our winter. We have flowers growing in the garden here, in the backyard, in the front yard. So spring is here. Spring is just around the corner. Spring is like Sunday, Monday is the first day of spring. Probably won't feel like that back east where Mother Nature just continues to hammer the Maritimes. Hello, Paula. How are you? First-time viewer here on MattTv. Welcome to the show. I think Randy was on a couple nights ago. So maybe a little birdie was chirping in your ear, or maybe you're just scrolling through Facebook and joined and are now just cruising through to see what else is going on. So those that are watching live, thank you for watching live and being with me. It's just after 6 o'clock here on the West Coast. And for those that are going to watch this later on or are watching it at your own leisure, at your own convenience, thank you so much. Oh, you were here before. Okay, cool. I'll ask you the question, Paula. What does being a Canadian mean to you? This is the 150th birthday of this great nation. I saw a program this morning on HBO. Rob Cohen traveling from coast to coast, talking to different people on what it means to be Canadian. I laid my whole spiel out, and if you want to hear it, you'll have to go back to the very beginning. Susan Olmsted, I'm so glad you're on the program. I was on the way home from work today. Collective Soul came on the radio, and I immediately thought of my days at the Wayward House for Men, where life is good. So a big shout out to all the guys, former residents of the Wayward House for Men, and to our fearless leader. Love you, man. Think of you often. You are a good soul. So a big shout out to the men from the Wayward House. That's going back a long, long time. That place was, every night was a Saturday night. Thanks for the like, Susan. Hope all is well. I can imagine that you're probably buried under a bunch of snow in your neighborhood. Once you call Zach, get him to come down over the hill and help you shovel out your driveway. I'm just going to read more on this rocket ship. The name of the company is Maritime Launch Services Limited. Is there anyone near the Canso, Nova Scotia area? I can say that at one point in my life, I did see a spaceship take off. This was when I was in Florida going back to 2000, hanging out with my brother Jeff in Fort Lauderdale, scrolling through the TV, coming across CNN, breaking news, spaceship taking off. We run outside into the driveway. We look east. And off in the distance, you can see the trail of smoke. That was cool. That was really cool, actually. So I can say that I have seen a spaceship take off. But that may be coming to Nova Scotia. Quite interesting. For those of you back east, tomorrow morning you're looking at overcast conditions, -7. Going to feel like -13, which probably isn't too bad considering the -30-some temperatures that you've had recently. Tomorrow afternoon, 0. Ooh, temperature's going to go up. It's going to level off at the freezing point. -3 and cloudy Thursday evening. So that's the Fredericton area. That's not a bad forecast at all. Yeah, I was saying the Maritimes can't get a CFL team, but they'll soon be able to launch rockets into space. That I'd go see. Well, I'd go see both. Mr. Miller, how are you, my friend? I would go see that. Who wouldn't? That'd be better than going to like Magic Mountain or I'm not getting what you're throwing down there, Mike. Hey, there's shorts out for. Hey, there's shorts out for. This? I know it's a typo, but there's no vowel in that word, so really struggling with it. Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about. There is, if you get a chance tonight after you're done watching this, Google the show LOL. Yeah, I'm glad you popped in, man. Perfect timing. I was just telling people about the show LOL, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. My friend Etienne just introduced it to me this afternoon, and the beauty of it is it's great comedy, but there's no real dialogue. People may utter grunt sounds and whatnot depending on what the situation is, but there's no dialogue, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's kind of like Just for Laughs, and if it's from the Quebec area, which I think it might be, it's probably very similar. The people may be in cahoots with running the two programs, but Just for Laughs, great show out of Quebec, and the new one that I saw today was called LOL. Great show if you want a good laugh, and it's just silly humor, but for those that like to laugh on a regular basis, it's great. Todd, welcome to MattTv. Hopefully I will see you on Saturday night out in the Grove at the Station Pub, helping Ronnie celebrate her 50th birthday. I really hope she is okay with me saying that on TV because I just did. Plus, it's on Facebook anyway. It's not a big surprise. We shouldn't be down on the dumps on the big 5-0. Shorts out for Thursday. I have a nasty cold all there. Sorry, I have a nasty cold. Chris Crawley, how are you? Welcome to MattTv. Shorts out for Thursday. I could have worn shorts today if I wanted to. Definitely t-shirt weather. Like I said, it was like 9 degrees, overcast, and some light rain. So that's all right. That's okay. Considering the weather we had in December, January, February, it was all right. Austin, how are you? I saw that you liked my post this morning. I follow you as well. Welcome to MattTv, wherever you are. I want to say you are in the Florida area. Not quite sure. That's another thing. If you join the room and you're just cruising through, if you can just leave me a quick comment just to tell me where you are in the world, that would be awesome. So I'm going to post a question again. Chris, top of the world. Top of the world. I'm just having an amazing time. I had a great rehearsal today, getting prepared for tonight's show. And rehearsal was just me driving around. Okay, I figured Austin was in Florida. Okay, cool. I knew there was a connection somewhere. I think he probably, Austin. Welcome to MattTv. Good to have you here. So again, I'm going to pose the question. We got a few more people in the room now than we did, say, 17 minutes ago. I was watching a great show on HBO this morning. Maybe you've seen it. I haven't seen it in its entirety. I certainly will. It's called Being Canadian, and it's hosted by Rob Cohen. And it's funny. Pouring rain. Pouring rain in Vancouver Island. Yeah, I think there's another system on the way. We kind of lucked out here on the mainland today. I was thinking we were going to get a lot more rain than we did, but we did not. So I'm going to pose the question. Chris, I'll pose it to you. And you don't have to answer right now. You can answer at your leisure. You can comment later on. Game of Thrones, yes. And unfortunately, myself and everyone else who's a fan has to wait until mid-June for what I believe is the season finale. The series finale. I believe it's the end. That's going to be tough. Yes, so I have seen Game of Thrones, kind of hooked on the drama right now, Oz, on Netflix. I know Oz is super old, but the characters are... I really like Pete, the nun. I'm just really in love with Oz right now. But I know it's old. I know I'm behind, but that's okay. So, I pose the question to you. What does it mean to be Canadian to you? And if you are an American viewer, then what does it mean to be American to you? And the reason I ask, Canada is celebrating 150 years, and we are 3.5 months into it. So it's a year-long celebration. So let's get the party started. Let's do it right here. Tell me what it is, what makes Canada great. How are you making Canada great? And I'm going to take this on the road. When I hop on a Greyhound bus, I know, when I hop on a Greyhound bus, some of the trivia questions, and I'll show right here. These trivia questions here. Oh, you turned your parents on to Oz? Yeah. That's a decision you look back and go, oh. Home of the Free, yes. It's in our national anthem. There is, I got to be honest, there are two, no, Game of Thrones. There are two instances where I can almost instantly tear up. One is standing up and singing "O Canada." The other one is hearing any rendition of Amazing Grace. And anytime I hear Katie Lang sing Hallelujah, wow. Those three, if I was to watch those consecutively, wow. Anyway, trivia questions. Going to take these on the road, Greyhound bus. I'll strike up conversations with people on the bus. And if time permits, when we step outside for a break, maybe we'll go live and do a little trivia because they will win a prize. You got to make it interesting, right? I'm spending 90 hours on a bus I have to be doing something. Austin, I'm not quite sure what you're getting at. No, period, Game of Thrones. There is a Game of Thrones. By the sounds of it, you watch it, but we're not connecting here, so I'm not quite sure what you're saying. But it's all good. We'll figure it out. I want to show you something. I want to show you a book. This is one book out of a series of books. I'll flip it over and show you in a minute. A series of books. This goes back to my elementary days. And these were some of the first books that I have ever had. And they were The Value Of. And if I show you a picture of it right now. Oh, you're watching Game of Thrones. Oh, watching Game of Thrones with your bros. Okay. Game of Thrones. Okay, well, that would be less nerve-wracking than watching Oz with them. Anyway, this book here, Jeff, you're going to get a kick out of this, and Mama, I don't know if you're watching, or you may watch it later. I still have this book. This is The Value of Love. Seems like the Game of Thrones night for everyone. Version of Amazing Grace. I have no doubt. I have a huge respect for Carrie Underwood. She's an amazing singer, amazing artist. What she's done with her career since American Idol is just, she's doing what she wants to do. So hats off to Carrie Underwood. Yeah, if there's, like I said, Amazing Grace, Hallelujah. Bo, how are you, my friend? Hey, if there's anything you want to know about, voiceovers or anything like that, I will totally send you links, do whatever I can, for sure. Is the new Game of Thrones out yet? No, too fried. They actually had to wait for winter to do the filming, so it was pushed back. Last I heard, Game of Thrones, the series finale, will be sometime in June. So we're all going to have to come inside from being out getting suntan and hanging out by the cooler and the beach to rush back inside to see Game of Thrones. No, wait, we'll all just PVR it. Anywho, Jeff, this book, I've had this since... as long as I can remember, I've had this book. I'm 44. I still believe in this. This is my favorite word, man. This is my favorite word. But how much love do I have? I'm going to show you something. Just let me find it here. We had, some of you might think this is a little bit weird, but I find it so trippy that I still have this. We had we've had many amazing animals. We've always had lots of dogs. One of my most favorite pets was a dog named Honey. The dog's name was Honey, and she was just amazing. And Honey lived to be, I want to say 18. I honestly believe she was that old when she passed. Other members in the family may say she was, maybe 14, 15, whatever. She was old. You're not going to be able to see this. Maybe if I move it up here. But right here, maybe if I move it up by this log. That log, see that right there? You can see that moving around. That is a small piece of Honey's hair. I'm 44. 17, I think. I'm 44, and I still have a piece of hair from a pet that I loved. Woo! And I still have it. I've been on the West Coast for 17 years, and that book, I think I brought that book out a couple years ago. A few years ago, my mother kept a bunch of my stuff in a box, and every time I went home, I would, bring stuff back out here. So I brought that out. Lorenzo is watching you with wide eyes. I love it. I hope he finds my voice soothing. The visual might frighten him a bit, so just put those little blinders over him so we can just kind of chill out. Yes, Jeff, 17, 18. She was an old dog, but she was a great dog, and that was another day where I did a lot of crying. Thanks for the like, guys. I certainly appreciate it. We're going to do this for as long as I possibly can. It's, I just started it Saturday morning. The feedback's been great, and I'm trying to tweak it as the nights go along. A little different setup tonight. Sitting at a table, got my computer. I have links to stories. So if someone wants to send me a story that you want to talk about, by all means, send me something. This is an open platform. This is open discussion for everybody. Oh, that's awesome. He was crying, now he's not. So you are most certainly welcome. You can just put the phone up to his ear about 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is his new bedtime. You know what, Chris? I still have school yearbooks as well. I thought I had, mine's in the bedroom. Mine's in my bedroom. And you know that I had me, Michelle Nowlin, Dana Lawrence, Derek Scriver, Beth Walker. There was probably someone else that I'm not thinking about right now. But there were a few of us that got together and planned the high school reunion. And so I looked at the yearbook a lot. But I know to this day, and even before the reunion, I could have grabbed that book and opened it up to the class picture on the soccer hill, and I guarantee you, before the reunion, after almost 25 years, I could name easily 80, 85, 90% of that class. I don't know what it is. Like I said last night, I need and I must be connected with you. You know, when I'm not doing this, everyone carries on with their life, right? But I can't wait to get back and sit into this seat and just see what's going on in your world. And I'll let you know what's going on in my world. But like I said, a little bit different setup here tonight, a little more professional. I still got my couch behind me. Still have beautiful artwork by my amazing wife. So this is a Wednesday night, and I'm glad you navigated through your Wednesday. A lot of people back east dealing with the nor'easter. Ooh. You don't remember going out that day for the picture? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yearbooks are yeah, for sure. Will you ever have? You know what, Laura? Yeah, I definitely. I've been. You know, that's why I did. That's why I started Matt Chat, and that's why I do MC work. That's why I've been in radio. That's why I'm a voice actor. I need, and I must, and will continue in the entertainment industry. This is what brings me joy. All right. But I would love to have people on here. The individuals that I interviewed for Matt Chat, and there was probably 6 or 7 people, I would love to have them back in here. I am obviously totally ready to get in front of the camera. What I'm doing right now is no different than being in a studio, except you might be reading a teleprompter, cue cards, da-da-da-da-da. Bring it. But for right now, MattTv is in his garage in White Rock, British Columbia. And it is approaching 6:30. Welcome to MattTv. Thanks for all the likes, all the shares, all the comments. If you're live right now, welcome. If you're watching it later on at your leisure, this will happen every weeknight, 6 o'clock Pacific. That's 10 o'clock Atlantic, 10:30 Newfoundland. Thanks for the like, Chris. Greatly appreciated. Congratulations on the GED, man. That's amazing. You must be so thrilled. You must be so happy. Congratulations. I know you worked hard at it. Hello, Lori. How are you? What I could do is I would love to interview the lady that did this beautiful piece of art, but I don't think she's not ready to be on camera. But it's a beautiful piece of art. I just absolutely love it. My wife has so much creativity. It's just every night when I come home, she's creating something else, and I'm just astonished. It just literally stops me in my tracks, and I'm just like, wow. Like, to take what's up here and use your hands to transform it to make something that's got substance. Awesome. That's good stuff, Chris. Good stuff. Yeah, eventually. I mean, I think Kaya would be an awesome guest here. Kaya watches a lot of live streaming stuff, so what I'm doing right now doesn't even faze Kaya because she watches it all the time anyway, so now it's just her father, so no biggie. Excuse me. You love to paint, Mike. I did not know that. Excellent. Everyone has to have an outlet. Everyone has to have an outlet. Sometimes I like to just throw darts just to work on your hand-eye coordination. Walking, but you have to have not necessarily a sport. Do hot yoga, go swimming, go walking. Just go. Yes, she does. She does, Lori. If you want to send me a private message, I can send you a link to some of Jen's work if you're interested. But yes, she does. I should put up some of the work that she has done. She makes things that you want to wrap yourself in because it heals you. Cool. So now we have two people online here. William throwing a shout out, giving props to Mike, who's the painter. William, thanks for the positive vibe back towards Mike. That's cool, man. That's what this is all about here. Michelle Britton, welcome to MattTv. Mike, if you like, you want to maybe throw a link to some of your stuff up. Throw some pictures up on this page. Whatever you want to share, on this platform is totally cool with me. Yeah, this is not about me. This is about us. I'm just having so much fun. I seriously feel like William or Mike or Michelle or Laura, I feel like you could just walk around the corner right now and sit down beside me. That's how close everyone seems right now, and that's how close Facebook Live has made this. So thank you, Facebook Live. Evening, Jen. How are you? Thanks for the comment. And so what you were saying in that comment was that I was actually correct in the whole WKRP in Cincinnati thing. I think that's what you were saying. But I actually listened to the clip that you sent me. I don't know if it was you, but someone sent me the theme to WKRP in Cincinnati. Gold. Absolute gold. It was so simple. I absolutely love the sitcoms from back in the day. Hi, Andrea. How are you? Thanks for the like. Getting back to the program this morning that I was watching, Being Canadian with Rob Cohen. They were going from Halifax to Vancouver, and when they made it out here, they got talking about the beachcombers and how it was so, at the time, Canadian. But that sitcom was so simple. The concept was so simple. But that show, and I did not know this, it ran for 22 years. 20 years or 22 years on air, The Beachcombers. And even more amazing than that, it was on the CBC. Something to last that long on the CBC is okay in my books. 27 minutes left. We're just going to do 60 minutes tonight. Jen, you joined the show a little bit late, but that's okay because you can go back and watch it later on at your leisure. No pressure, no pressure. But I want to ask the question. I'm going to put it out there again. What does it mean to be Canadian to you? We are celebrating 150 years. It's a time to celebrate. It should always be a time to celebrate being Canadian, being from Canada. So what does it mean to be Canadian to you? I don't. That may have sounded really a bunch of words mumbled together. So yeah, just throwing some things out there. Lots of different things you can check out. Talking about the space rockets that will potentially in the near future be launching from Nova Scotia in Canso, Nova Scotia. So if anyone's familiar with the geography of freedom, yes, exactly. If anyone is familiar with the geography of Nova Scotia, where is Canso, Nova Scotia in relation to, say, Halifax, like, you know, the metropolis? I would think it would have to be somewhere along the coast if they're going to be launching rockets into space. You obviously want the ocean nearby, in case something goes wrong. And you never want that to happen. Yeah, you know what, Lori, you can quite literally wrap up being Canadian in that one word, freedom. I feel totally free here. So that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Love that chat. Yeah. Yes, I totally agree. Yeah. Well, there's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. See, I told myself I wasn't going to sing tonight. I definitely told myself I wasn't going to cry. Pretty sure that's not going to happen, but I broke it. I did sing, and it's awful. Sorry about that. The long coast down from the South Shore. Along the coast down from the South Shore. Okay. See any good movies? The last time I was in a movie theater was the latest Star Wars. Loved it. Loved it. I don't get out to theaters enough. Funny story about a theater. Huge theater in the Fort Lauderdale area. Austin, you may have even gone there. It's like 28 theaters. But I remember going to a movie years ago with my brother Jeff and one of his friends, and there was a seat cover that said out of order. I have no idea why a movie theater seat would be out of order. I didn't even want to lift the plastic to see why, but so Lori, I see along the coast down from the South Shore. Again, where is that in relation to? I guess I could just Google Canso, Nova Scotia, but actually I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to Google Canso, Nova Scotia. From the sounds of it, 400 years ago, there was a tiny fishing village there, so that's a giveaway that it's along the coast. Canso, Nova Scotia. Let's do some images here. Okay, here we are. I just want to zoom in on. I just wanted to. Talking about Stanfest. Okay, now I understand where it is, because I am familiar with the geography of Nova Scotia. Indeed, Mike. Towards Yarmouth. Yeah, I just Googled the image, and yeah, that makes sense. You're in PEI, right, Lori? Anyway, regardless of where you are, I would think, well, if you're in PEI, you should be able to see a rocket launch from that point in Nova Scotia, I would think. Yes. I mean, if Sarah Palin can see Russia from Alaska, anything's possible. She must have amazing eyesight. Well, I like answering your questions. If there's anything, you know what? If you're a business owner, if there's something that you want to promote, if there's you're in sales, if there's anything that I can do to maybe give you some exposure, you want to send me a private message, I will share the information right here on MattTv. Because I'm in a position with this Facebook Live where I want to help people out. I think I've done that my entire life, whether it's helping John Q move or whatever, man. I don't think in my life I have ever refused to help someone move. I don't know why. I think I just like the physical exercise, to be honest with you. What's the biggest tree? The biggest tree I've ever seen, Chris, a few years ago. My mom and dad were out here with my niece, Anna. And those three and my two girls went down the Oregon coast. And if you've never been to the Oregon coast, if you've never been out west, if you come out for the first time, you got to drive the Oregon coast. It's just awesome. The biggest tree that I saw was somewhere in the redwood forest in Northern California. We actually, the group of us took a trolley up to the top, and Jen and I hiked back down. So my wife and I are hiking down through the redwood forest. It's magnificent. It makes you feel really small. You know, you could go through this park, and they had these trees that were sectioned off so that you couldn't touch them. And these trees have been there for hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe even thousands. But if you ever get the chance, go check it out. Been awesome. I agree, Sarah, but I'm not quite sure what you have been awesome at. But you got exclamation points. So I'm thinking you're pretty excited about Ben Awesome. Is it being awesome? Ben. Cathedral tree, yes. Yeah. So I'm going to say you've probably been there because that's exactly the name of the tree, the cathedral tree. I stood right in front of it, probably got my picture taken with it. That's a cool spot. So, Chris, if you're ever on the West Coast, I don't really know. We haven't communicated in quite a long time. So after MattTv, a couple of links if you want to go check out. There's a great show. I just saw it today on, I think it was on Vimeo. Hey Wayne, how's it going, my friend? It was on Vimeo, but the show was called LOL. So I think if you just go to Vimeo or however you pronounce it, Vimeo, Vimeo, just punch in, hey Wayne, how are you, my friend? Go to just punch in LOL. It's comedy. It's just like the Just for Laugh gags that you would see on Just for Laughs. I think both programs are based out of Quebec, but it's good stuff. It's always good to end your night laughing, isn't it? Try and laugh as much as you can and be grateful. Man, I cannot stress enough how important it is to be grateful. The first 6 words, the first 3 sentences that you should start your day off with: thank you, thank you, thank you. And be sincere about it. Mean it. Oh, people have great memories. What you just said, William, what you just said, you have no idea the significance that means to me. It means that people are paying attention, and yeah, people are laughing because Wayne knows exactly what you were talking about. I know exactly what you were talking about. So good on you, William. All right, Mike, 10 o'clock your time, weeknights. I was invited to the Canucks-Dallas Stars game for tomorrow night, but that's still up in the air, so who knows? Whoa. Yes, it is. Yeah, on the Comedy Network, it is funny. And like I was saying earlier, the brilliant part about it is that there's no dialogue. It's just visual. And the skits that I saw could very well happen. At least what I saw. I don't know. It's good stuff. Like I said, laughter is the best medicine. I hear you. I totally agree, Jen. Totally agree. Well said. Scott Gibson, welcome to MattTv. And big shout out to Jen. You are a frequent viewer here, and I really appreciate that. I really do. Tell your sister. I'd love to have Carrie pop in as well. We'll always be proud to be from Carleton County. We'll always be proud to be Canadian, a Maritimer, a guy from New Brunswick, a guy from Woodstock, New Brunswick, where you could stand on the street corner and know everyone. And that's okay. You know, living in a small town has its pros and cons. We all know that. Maybe the ones with the thicker skin are the ones that are still there. I don't know. But sometimes people, if it's not where you are, you got to go after it, right? You got to go where the work is. That's, you know, that saying is so cliche, but it applies, right? Speaking of beautiful natural scenery, where I am on the West Coast, the Rockies, the ocean, the Stanley Park, Vancouver, it's beautiful out here. Yes, we know that. But there is a place, and anyone who has ever driven to Nakawick the back way, there is a hill, and I might be able to get there today. I'm sure my father could take me there because my Thin skin. Well, there you go. What part of the world are you in? Oh, hang on one sec. My computer's not plugged in. I'm going to die here in a minute. I got 15 minutes left in the show, so just give me 1 second. The one cord I didn't plug in. Sorry about that. You're in Fredericton, okay. Ready. What was I talking about? Man. Oh, the beautiful scenery. Beautiful scenery. That's why, look out at Erin Lake. Where's Erin Lake? I'm not familiar. But New Brunswick is beautiful. The rolling hills, and that's the area. I know my father could take me there, and I know anyone that's ever driven the back way to Nakawik could, but I don't know the name of the road. I know it's a super steep hill. It's in Nakawik. Yeah, it's the back way to Nakawik. It's a super, it's got a grade to it. And when you're at the top, you are looking, I think you can actually see the pulp mill. And I don't even know what direction you'd be looking in. East, I guess. But in the fall, if you go there in the fall and all the leaves have changed color, you can actually see, Ayers Lake. Yeah, you can actually see the rolling hills. And I've only been there once in my life. But when I was there, it was fall and the colors were it was amazing. I sat there for 2 or 3 hours. No radio, car not running, just quiet and enjoying nature. So if you're familiar with the Nakawik area, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Super steep hill at the top. You can see the mill off in the distance, but it is probably looks pretty white right now, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to climb that hill because it's probably pretty slick. Thanks for all the feedback on the question that I put out there. What does it mean to be Canadian to you? For me, what I was saying right off the top, to those that have joined late, my favorite drive, yeah, yes, yeah. We don't get, some areas of BC experience fall a little different than we do, but I mean, the leaves just seem to change color, and then we get a storm and they're all blown off. So I appreciate the distinct seasons back east for sure. What I was saying right off the top as what it means to be Canadian, for me, it means telling other people how great it is to be Canadian. We are, to reiterate what Jen said, we are, actually, there were so many, I can't scroll back and see these, but I know we are polite, we are kind, we are forgiving, we comfort those in need, and I have been so fortunate to, I haven't experienced a lot of tragedy, death in my life. I still have, all the members of my family are still with me. Good friends are still with me. Sometimes it's tough being out here. Sometimes it's tough being some 3,000 kilometers away from just giving someone a hug that you haven't seen in a long time, right? This I like. Indeed. Yeah, indeed. That's why I'm so excited to get on a bus. Hey, babe. To get on a bus and travel across the country to not only see my sister run in the Boston Marathon, but to see my mom and dad again, to see my aunts and uncles, my nieces and nephews, my cousins, friends. The hard part will be everyone going their separate ways, right?
Jill will continue on with this amazing adventure. Well, I did two things I said I wasn't going to do. I said I wasn't going to sing, and I sang some lyrics from The Littlest Hobo. And I said I wasn't going to cry. I'm not really crying. But, again, totally stoked to be going back to Boston, hanging out with the family for as long as possible. And you're right. Make every moment count. I know, William, I said that, didn't I? Like just 10 minutes ago. Then I caved. But you know what? And I've said this before. It's just so healthy. It's just so healthy. You missed the singing? I'll just give you a little clip. It's from The Littlest Hobo, so don't be expecting anything grandioso. There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. And that's all I'm going to do. Yeah, I guess you kind of take off the... talk about stepping out of your comfort zone. Like, I don't generally sing, and you cannot categorize that as singing. Sing along, Sarah. But yeah, you know, last night we had this great conversation about WKRP in Cincinnati, and sometimes I think I may be, there's a big part of me, actually, there's a big part of me that's stuck in, you know, the 80s and whatever. But, see, that's another, I threw this out a few nights ago, and sometimes I'll watch back just to, you know, this is kind of for me, like, later on tonight, I may watch this later, just like watching film in sports. Listen to what I say, listen to some of my cliches, not cliches, but some crutches. And I know the one that I use, and I know a lot of other people use as well, is exactly, we grew up in the best time. These are interesting times. We grew up in the best times. Oh. So much fun. There's been people on here tonight, first-time viewers to MattTv, so thank you so much. Thanks for joining. If you like what you see in here, tell some friends, share the videos. And like I said, this is, you missed the hair. The hair is just, ow! Oh, I almost dislocated my shoulder. Is that supposed to happen when you get that old? You just go up to reach your hair and your shoulder, you're like, oh man, the shoulder doesn't go up any higher. Ashley, Sarah, it's right here. It's still here. I know, looking back at it last night, my hair looked like a rat's nest. I wish someone would have told me. Like, hey, put a hat on, tie it back, cut it off, do whatever. But it's only hair. So I made a point to tell you about the show LOL. Check it out online. It's great laughter. I hope everyone survived the nor'easter. And judging by the forecast, according to Environment Canada, you should be out of the woods today. I don't know what the weather's like there tomorrow. I think it might just be some sunshine. I love getting the weather out here, and they give you the symbols. Out here, Environment Canada, they'll give you a symbol of, this is what you're going to get today. Oh yes, the Aquanet. Nothing here in PEI. No stormy weather in PEI? Okay. No, hairspray. Well, you needed, the hairspray back in the day almost needed to be chunky in order to hold up, like, the weight of the hair. Missed the big hair. Tresemme, yeah, a good substitute, Tresemme. I don't use, I just shake and go. So the nor'easter. So it looks like people back east are out of the woods. So, but is Mother Nature done with the East Coast? Oh, only time will tell. Pretty excited about rocket ships potentially launching from Canso, Nova Scotia in the near future. Maritimes. They can't get their own CFL team, but soon they'll have an area where they can launch rockets. Amazing. They need to look into that. They need a CFL team. Would probably be cheaper. And what does it mean to be Canadian? Redkin. Oh, now we're talking about hair products. We are plugging we are plugging so many brands of hairspray right now. This is great. Another storm coming up next week. Well, there is something to look forward to. Thank you, Mother Nature. 5 minutes away from 7 o'clock. We're going to shut her down here in 5 more minutes. But in all likelihood, be back here tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Pacific time, if I'm not at a Canucks game. Randy, if you're watching or watching later, make up your mind. Let's get tickets. Let's go to the game. Oh, you work for Redkin. Woo! Well, that's an awesome plug. You should share this video with the people at your work, and just to let them know, like, look, I was on Facebook Live last night with my buddy Matthew, and I gave the company a plug. You might want to get rid of the LOL though, but I know I should have known that. But and I really wish I would have seen you this summer when I was home. I know we had that quick chat as I was walking through town. I was just at a barbecue, and you were at Michelle's, and it just paths did not cross. So again, I just want to state one thing as we wind down another episode of MattTv, Facebook Live, free sample. Maybe you two can work that out. 3 sentences, 2 words. 2 words said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I thank you for watching tonight. And I think you will feel much better in the day when you wake up in the morning and you are grateful. Grateful for the fact that you woke up. False. Oh, good times, good times. Be thankful, be grateful, love one another. And be safe on the roads. We are getting ready for spring. Spring is happening this weekend. We've all survived what did we lose? An hour of sleep. We've all adjusted to that over the last few days. And now we're going to creep into Easter. But the spring back east is buried under quite a bit of snow. But it'll thaw out. Don't worry. And some of you like to vacation in Cancun and the areas on that side of the world. Maybe some of you come to Mexico. I don't know. But if you like what you see and hear, tell your friends. Yeah, like I said, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Your sister is so talented. I love reading her work. She sent me a story years ago when I was a medic up north. She sent me some stuff, and it was just she just took me into this other world. So I would love to chat with Carrie on here. I'd love to chat with Rowan Moon. You're in Texas? Okay, cool. Right on. I won't be that far south when I make my trek through the U.S. I think, well, I'll definitely be going through Salt Lake City. I think within the next few days, I'll be purchasing tickets on the weekend. So sometime next week, I'll be talking about my travel route and what that will entail as I mentally prepare for 90 hours on a Greyhound bus from Vancouver, British Columbia to Boston, Massachusetts, and then Boston, Massachusetts, back to Vancouver. That's happening in a month from now, so getting excited about that. You just can't wait to see the family in Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be a good time. Going to Vegas in June. Awesome. Never been to Vegas. We'll get there someday. I don't gamble. I don't drink or anything like that, but I think the casinos would be fun to go in. Give yourself a $20 limit. For me, it would be the outskirts of Las Vegas that I would find intriguing. We're going to wrap this up. I appreciate Lori, Sarah, Wayne, Jen, William, Austin, Nick for all playing along tonight. Greatly appreciated. Yes, Nick, you will see me tomorrow night right here on Facebook Live. My name is Matthew. My last name is Grant. And this has been MattTv. Thanks for watching. Let's do it again. Come back and play tomorrow night right here, 6 o'clock, Facebook Live. I'm Matt Grant from White Rock, British Columbia. Good night. turn off.